So welcome back. So in our previous video, we actually went through in terms of the pros and cons, or like the choices that we could leverage in terms of the options we would have with digital PR versus the traditional PR, right? Now in this video, let's try to understand as a startup, right? Or like if you're even in terms of mid-scale business owner or entrepreneur, we want to understand like remove certain conception we have or the common perception we have, what exactly PR is about, irrespective of whether it's a traditional PR or the digital PR, right? So some people might think, okay, it's just about release, right? PR stands for press release, right? And you're not alone. There are some point of time, probably when I was in the mindset and I evolved with just research, right? So that's where I'm taking time before we understand the types of PR. Let's fix our common understanding that we gain based on our discussions with people or like different articles we read, and we have to get to right information, right? So, because the problem here is the way people consume and engage with the information has changed dramatically as digital media also has taken hold of our market, and then PR encompasses all the ways in which we can actually disseminate any kind of information to your stakeholders, right? So we have to be very, very careful in terms of how we actually present our information. You have to understand what is the most powerful vehicle for getting your story or the brand positioning based on your service or product in any event in front of the right press release, right? And you have to make sure you're actually helping. If you're going with a press release, you have to make sure you're helping those editors or journalists to actually generate the stories that really aligned with your user base, your customer base. And like, it's your responsibility as a business owner, how you present information with the photo PR or the press release audience so that they get right information to your stakeholders, right? And the second thing is, it's not just about always selling something, right? PR does not sell directly anything to anyone. And instead, it is only giving you option to channelize different verticals or the different spaces where sales or regulatory discussions can take place. And different kind of a salespeople, they actually rely on these materials developed by your PR executives, whether it's your websites or your flyers or your blogs or your social ads or your brochures, to do their jobs well, right? So it's important, um, they actually have a direct contact with prospect to have this information right within right negotiation with the purchase. And these salespeople actually benefit from your PR activities with the different promotional stories and events and conference and any kind of a service programs you offer. But the messaging has to be right, right? So if you think about, it's not just about directly, okay, PR, just sell something. No, it depends on right messaging, right regulatory discussions, and having the right PR executives who can actually leverage with the proper communication skills to do a proper messaging and do the job well to get to the right channel reaching mode, right? And next, the third thing is, nothing happens overnight. Whether you are like reasonably established SaaS business owner or any business owner, you have reached a certain flavor of MVP mode, or you're just starting with the fresh business niche mode. It's not like an overnight process. You have to invest time in terms of keyword researching process, and you will have tons of metrics to evaluate and define them, but you need to understand what metric actually is helping you gauge based on your keywords and make a better decisions, right, in your SaaS website or your business income, right? And so what I meant to say is like, you can think it's a long-term effort. SEO is a long-term effort. It has to be like a test driven, and PR is a long-term effort. You have to understand what is your foundation, and in terms of, you have to create a foundation and understand a baseline of a PR strategy that actually evolves with your time and focus, right? It could take or like even like say 6 months, or some business might take like 12 months or 2 years. And there are businesses which take 5 years to even see the actually break even strategies, but it depends on your effort there, right? But with the right engagement, it can be done in first year, right? First 2 years. So it's what I'm saying is PR is not just about creating creatives or doing some documentation and having hiring editors and do work for you, but it is about right messaging and doing your research with your metrics and right keywords and getting a proper online presence and having a right pitch to your story, right? And this not just the operational excellence, but your research really matters a lot. And the fourth thing is, people rely on, okay, sponsorship, right? Whether it's a fund sponsorship or whatever mode you have. But here you need to earn your presence. Yeah. So which means like it could be you're getting your brand presence through mouth of word marketing strategy, which is the most challenging type of a PR, right? It's not always like financial transaction, but you need to earn your presence. And that comes with the quality of the service, the greater customer service. And the fifth thing is, don't think it is a temporary effort, right? It's like a promotional activity that occurs for like your short-term period, be it, some kind of a discount mode, like, or like, news media mode, whatever that channel that you're choosing. But it has to sustain, right? Consistently, how are you taking care of your PR activities, be your special event or conference or a digital media point of view, whatever it is, how consistent you are with your promotions matters a lot. And sixth thing is, um, some people think about it's always about publicity, right? So, but publicity and PR, it can be, or like you cannot be using interchangeably. And let's say, like, what exactly is a publicity? It relies in terms of what exact, proper, precise, factual information you're trying to get through and gaining that exposure from a brand, right? So, the factual information, right? Whereas a PR, it is one of the form of publicity that you can get in terms of press releases, but there are other methods that you can actually get the positive coverages through some interviews and staged events, pitch letters, and things like that, right? So try to understand where you actually differ and what kind of a PR mode you would want to leverage, and also see what kind of a publicity you are actually gaining with that PR mode, right? And then seventh thing, yes, it's true that it's a budget intensive activity, but um, it's a cost efficient way that you have to plan to get your story out, right? If this any kind of a PR strategy in the media or any mode leads you to new customers or it shortens your sales cycles, then the cost of hiring a PR executives or external vendor firm, it'll actually strategize your cost more better in a pretty quicker way, right? So it's better you show your presence in different events and in different medias and get your exposure through different variable mechanisms, right? Increase your credibility and get your validation done with a different user base, right? Get the feedback. It increases your weight more than a paid ad, right? So get your prospects to reach out and make decisions quicker with a proper quality-based customer base. The more refined and strategized your PR mechanisms are, right? And last, like done by anyone, right? There is a perception it can be done by anyone. But the thing is, a PR executive need to be a good editor, writer, good curator, researcher, right? It cannot be error prone. He or she should be able to understand what's your positioning and do a equivalent research similar to a business owner, align with your business vision, right? You cannot overnight train a PR executive who cannot proactively research on your behalf to align with your thought process, right? You cannot hire like a website developer to be a PR executive. No, you cannot hire like a music orchestrator to be a PR executive just because they have a broader network presence, right? You need to make sure they have expertise in terms of a communication for different product areas, technical context point of view, what kind of a network they have, right? What kind of communication skills they have, at broader level to be able to work with the different stakeholders, and working knowledge they have, and what exposure they have with the different social media channels, and capability to or get into the events mode, what kind of a content marketing exposure they have, right? So do your homework before you actually understand who can actually represent, as a PR executive for your different business, right? So, and the last thing again here is, we think we are trying to aim with this PR, to drive the same results as marketing. So marketing will help us to sell, or probably marketing vision is to sell something, like products or service to reliable audience, right? And on the other hand, PR actually helps us to establish uh, different partnerships and branding where it helps to your business, right? Um, and PR and marketing may be used together to help your brand grow, but they're not the same. So you need to be able to, before you understand what type of PR will actually work for you, understand that some of these perceptions we have regarding the PR need to be fixed. So if you're clear with differences in comparison between digital PR and traditional PR, and if you've understood some of the common, contrary of conception, understanding we have in terms of PR itself, if you're clear with these differences, I think you're ready to go to understand the types of PR. All right. And don't forget to subscribe the channel. All right. I look forward to hear from you. Thank you.